What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the BallGame podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Dean.
I'm Tom.
I'm Chris.
What a weekend of basketball. The NBA is back from the All-Star break with a bang or a boom. 5 big booms this weekend for the NBA.
Boom,
boom, boom, boom. Exactly. The NBA is back in full force. We are in the home stretch. The playoffs are coming up soon in just about a month and a half. We're getting to watchable NBA season, I think I'd like to say. So we're going to talk about some potential dark horse candidates to make the conference finals or maybe even the finals, depending on where you view these teams. And we're going to talk about some of the most overrated players in NBA history as told by you guys, the fans of the BallGame podcast. So, by the way, keep in touch with the Instagram polls. Stay on top of that because we're going to be posting a lot of stuff on there for you guys to potentially be involved in the podcast. So keep your eyes on that. Stay active and stay in tune with everything we do on all our socials. So,
Yeah.
How's everything going, guys?
All right.
Everything's amazing.
Everything's
It was a great weekend of hoops all around, you know?
Especially for you guys.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you mean for you guys?
You guys hooped.
Oh, I thought you were talking about us as Knicks fans. Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
we played good basketball.
Oh, as
Good
Knicks
run.
fans? No, it was dreadful. But
Yeah.
We played good ball. Shout out JC.
shout out Joe Cruz. He was cooking. He was cooking.
I go,
Cruz.
but you guys.
I meant like you guys.
no, I know.
Yeah.
I'm a Knicks fan,
Figured
buddy.
that out. I figured that out.
It's horrible for us. We had a bad
They were
weekend.
down bad.
You know,
But overall, it was
nothing
a pretty great weekend of basketball. Last night, we were talking about it before. The Timberwolves came back from down 25 to beat the Thunder in OT. And then, what was the game the other night? Mavs Nuggets, where JJ Redick was.
Lakers.
JJ
Lakers,
Redick
Nuggets.
had Lakers Nuggets. I'm sorry. Yeah. Luka on
Luka.
the head. Yeah.
Yep.
JJ Redick said he didn't sleep for 2 nights preparing for the Nuggets. And
show.
A regular
Yeah.
season
regular
game.
season game against the Nuggets. He didn't sleep for 2 nights. So,
Dedicated to the game.
That shit was a statement, bro.
yeah, absolutely. I will say JJ looks much less stressed with Luka than without him.
Oh,
Like,
he loves that, man.
yeah,
It
he-
was
yeah,
his
exactly.
child.
Yeah, 100%.
Very reminiscent of how the Mavs were winning with Luka in a sense of Luka will carry the offense and then just trust in the personnel and trust in the game plan defensively, and it'll be enough. I mean, they zeroed Jokic out of that shit in a way that very few people have done over the last 5 years. Like, it was, I didn't think he hasn't slept in 2 days, but watching the game, like, it was very evident that he thoroughly prepared for not just the Nuggets, but for Nikola Jokic, and the dudes executed the game plan perfectly, and then Luka just took him home. That was good to see.
Jokic
didn't
had 12, 13, and 10 on 2 for 7 shooting. So,
And he had like 6 turnovers,
turnovers,
too.
yeah. 6 turnovers,
He's
yeah.
bro, JJ didn't prepare for the Nuggets. JJ prepared for Jokic.
Yeah, he prepared for
Yeah,
Jokic.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what he meant. That's what he meant.
Crazy.
Like, that's what I was worried about, was how are they going to match up with that guy and that team with Jackson Hayes at center, and that's why I was hesitant on them being a contender. But shit,
If they can do
like,
this.
I didn't think they had that. I don't think anyone thought.
No.
You know, I know you guys said they were a contender still.
I did.
Dean and Pete. And
Yeah.
Dean and Pete. Like, but I'm sure you guys didn't even think they had that type of, like, limiting Jokic like that in them. So
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I was
Like, oh, yeah, you thought
Yeah, I
they
don't know
did?
which way
What the
that
fuck
was.
No,
was
I
that?
agree with what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
I don't think
Oh,
anyone
yeah.
thought they
Man
had
over
that
here.
in them.
No, I
but
didn't. Yeah.
It was. I was moved. I was significant. Luka's my dog. I know Luka could do it offensively, but that was very moving.
We saw
defensively.
Darvin try to do that in the playoffs a little bit last year with guarding Jokic with a big wing and just having a roamer. Like, AD was the roamer, and now you have Jackson Hayes being the roamer and stuff. I mean, Jokic is the smartest basketball player in the world right now. I mean, I think he's going to adjust come playoff time if they get to play each other.
Yeah, that's the
So-
thing.
I
is
don't
you're
even
playing-
know if
He
it's
didn't
about
prepare.
Jokic adjusting.
It's about the
to
rest of the
that.
team.
They weren't letting him touch the ball, gang. Like, I mean, he shot 7
He
shots.
took 7
like,
shots, yeah.
They
Yeah.
weren't letting him get the ball, so I don't know if that's an adjustment. He has to. It's crazy to say because it's Jokic, but like, he got to be more physical.
Yeah, he's gotta
Like,
get
he
the rock.
got.
You're getting 3 bodies at
I know.
you.
I haven't
Every
seen
possession.
him get like outworked like that in a long time. Like, he
That's
got.
also the problem, though, because the Nuggets don't have the shooters to space the Lakers out either. Like, they were ignoring Aaron Gordon, they were ignoring Christian Brown,
Like,
they were ignoring Russell
doubling
Westbrook.
him off the ball.
Yeah.
Like he didn't have the ball, and they were 2 bodies there.
That's
Like,
pretty
it
crazy.
was, yeah.
And he was getting met at half court.
Yeah.
every single
Yeah.
time up the
No,
floor.
it
Like,
was cool to see as like a basketball fan, like the X's and O's of it, like how they really locked in on him. It was moving. I was moved.
So you're here on the Lakers. They're contenders now.
If they could stop Jokic, bro, like that's the ultimate
So-
test
You have to
without
stop
having
him
a
for
center.
7-game
Bro,
series.
sure,
though.
bro.
Okay.
Like,
Not even that. So like,
OKC
bro,
still
it's
exists.
so matchup dependent because I think out west, like they can make the finals, bro. I think Boston steamrolls them, kind of the same way they did to Dallas. I'm not gonna like.
Yeah, but LeBron's not Kyrie.
I know, but they'll mismatch hunt like Luka got a guard. Like Luka's not
Yeah,
playing
it's
help
true.
defense on Jokic in that series. Like Luka got a guard, and they've showed like they'll fucking make him guard. They have 4 guys out there at all times who have to make him guard. Like I think this like it's all, but for all of these teams, it's matchup dependent. Like I think the Lakers showed that they have some type of an answer for the Nuggets, and they can match up with the Nuggets. But like again, Boston steamrolls them.
I think there's 2 teams that are matchup proof. I think it's Boston and OKC. I think OKC is mostly matchup proof too. I don't think they could play any type of style that you
Yeah.
want them to. for the
Fully
most part.
healthy, yeah. Once they get Chet back, I think it's wraps
Is
for the Western Conference.
Chet has been back
He's
for a
been
little,
like
I think.
in and out.
Yeah, he's been very in and out of the lineup.
He didn't
but,
play last night.
No?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, that's another game. We got an overtime game with OKC in Minnesota. Minnesota won 131-128, and you guys, I actually didn't get the chance to watch, so I'm not going to act like I know everything from this one. You guys said it was a 25-point game?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of the comeback. Like I was checking it because Shay's on my fantasy team, so I was checking it, and then I saw it was a blowout. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna put this on. And then I checked again. I was like, hold on, like let me see. So I came in when they were like Minnesota cut the lead to like 13, but they went on like a 15-0 run to end regulation. Like it was fucking crazy. Jaden McDaniel was out there giving buckets.
No Ant, right?
Fucking, he was on the bench.
Ant was on
for
the
this,
bench, yeah.
Terrence Shannon out there like giving that's my dog too. Terrence
Shannon was
yeah.
a hooper in college,
Yeah,
bro.
he was out there in transition getting buckets, and they locked up down the stretch. It was cool that Ant had that block on Shea in OT.
Yeah.
That was like his statement. He fucking like the play was still going on, and he was flexing on him instead of like like playing defense. Like he was just like dead ass in front of Shea, like oh.
Typical Ant stuff, you know.
I feel like the Timberwolves always look better when Naz Reid gets his touches. Whether somebody's out or he's just in the starting lineup or he's getting more minutes, I feel like they just play better. And I feel like Naz Reid is one of the more underrated players in the league right now.
Probably the most
Well,
underrated
it came
player.
out that he's going to opt out officially.
He should. I mean,
No,
he-
absolutely.
he's gonna get a
max
bag.
contract,
he's
yeah.
getting buried in Minnesota. They replace him with another big after getting rid of Cat. Like he doesn't get the recognition he deserves. But now with Julius and Gobert out, I mean, he balls out. You
Comes
could
to the
see what
Knicks,
Naz
Naz.
Reid could do.
There's that one
would
clip
love
of
Naz
him
on
like
it.
sizing the dude up at the top of the key. That's like been trending.
He
bro.
looks like Jason Tatum,
He
right?
dead ass looks like Tatum.
Yeah.
Bro.
What?
Yeah,
No, but like bar for bar.
Like the size up, and then like even like they shoot the same. I never realized it until that, but they dead ass shoot the
Bro,
same.
he's very smooth. He's
Yeah, no,
very
no,
smooth.
he
And
was
he's
really fast.
what, like 6'9", 250?
6'9", 250, yeah.
It's insane.
He's
the
so
way he moves.
smooth. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
He deserves to have a big role somewhere, or at least an opportunity to show what he's got.
Yeah.
Like
Minnesota's not going to give him that op.
no, it doesn't seem like it. At least, I mean, I don't see why not though. Past this season, no more Julius, and I mean, it's not like
Well,
Julius has even been in the lineup.
Even if he opts out, they might
Yeah, they can still
re-sign
re-sign
him and
him.
give him
Yeah.
a bag. And
They're gonna have cap
probably
space.
gonna let Julius walk.
They have to.
Yeah, definitely.
They
Like
should.
as well.
They have to. But then
That was the whole point of the trade.
Right.
Was
Yeah,
to
yeah.
free
the,
up
Clear
money.
one of
some
the trips
cap.
to clear cap. But then who are you getting outside of you can't,
Re-signing Nas.
you can't
Re-sign
agreed, but you
Nas
can't
and,
stick to this. You can't stick to this.
No, but it gives you flexibility. Like
Right.
even if it's not next year, maybe the year after, maybe if someone becomes available. If
Rob
a guy
Dillingham's
like
also going to be him.
if a guy like KD becomes available, maybe. I know they tried this trade deadline, but KD didn't want to go like mid-season. So if KD's available in the offseason, I can see that happening. KD and Ant are boys.
KD and Ant would be cool, but what's the trade?
I don't know.
We talked about this. I think KD on the Grizzlies would be fantastic. That would be the
I would
perfect
love it.
spot.
I think that's a match made in heaven.
It really
yeah,
is.
I think a front court with Jaren and KD. Oof.
Ugh.
Oof.
Ugh.
Oof.
Yucky.
Jeez.
So, last pod we established that there are 6 contenders in the NBA: the Thunder, the Nuggets, the Lakers, the Celtics, the Cavs, and the Bucks. One of those 6 teams is winning the NBA championship. Last year we saw the Indiana. honestly, 2 surprise teams. I mean, I believed in the Mavs, but not a lot of people did. 2 surprise teams go to the conference finals and kind of mess things up a little bit. The Pacers especially. I don't think anyone saw that coming. But when you look back at it, you know, they played an injured Bucks team and an injured Knicks team. So then when you look back at it, it kind of makes sense. So injuries like that are always going to happen. There's normally one surprise team to make the conference finals. So outside of our contenders, who's one dark horse team you guys could see making the conference finals or even the finals?
Pacers are bums. Fuck them.
Let's just start.
I'm going to go with the Golden State Warriors. Number one, you have Steph Curry. That by itself should never rule you out from making the finals or making noise in the playoffs. That is first and foremost. You have Draymond Green, who's been there and done that as well. We thought this was the end of the Warriors, and then they went ahead and they traded for Jimmy Butler. And they're 5-1 in the Jimmy Butler era in Golden State. And not only that, they aren't just beating teams, they're beating the crap out of teams. They're winning by like 20 points in almost every single one of their wins, except for one. It's pretty simple for me. You have Steph, you have Jimmy, you have Dre. The role players are rounding into form. Makes it a lot easier for them when you got another guy who can create their own shot. It's wonders. It works fucking wonders for Steph Curry when they actually put a competent player next to him. And I think the Warriors are there. I think they're all the way there. They're back. They're title contenders, in my personal opinion. So I don't just think they're dark horses. I think they're for real. They're here. The Warriors are title contenders.
Man, I mean, that's the best answer you could give, right? I think second, assuming he's back to full health, I'm a full believer in the Mavericks this season if Anthony Davis can get back. I think him and Kyrie is going to be a lethal duo. I like the rest of their team. I like Derek Lively. I like PJ Washington. I like everything else they got going on. They just got to get back to full health. I think if by playoff time they're still, they end up making the playoffs with AD healthy, I think they have the second best. I would pick the Warriors, but since you already picked them, I think they have the second best chance other than the contenders to make the conference finals.
I'm going to make a bit of a boring pick because they're high in the standings. I'm going to go with the Memphis Grizzlies. I know a lot of people think that they're pretenders. I mean, we all kind of got up here and said that. But I think, first of all, that's what I was just checking, the playoff bracket. They're in the 3 seed right now, only a half a game behind Denver. But if they can avoid OKC in the second round, I think that'll do wonders for them. If they have to play OKC, it'll be a bit rough. But I think as far as personnel to throw at Jokic, I think Jaren is a great roamer to have. We just talked about how the Lakers, guarded Jokic with putting a body on him and then an elite roamer behind him. That's been the only way Jokic has lost in the playoffs. I think the Grizzlies can kind of do that. And Ja Morant has been a playoff riser in the past before. I know he hasn't been great this season, but he can still turn it up. And the Grizzlies have a super deep roster as well. They've got a ton of depth, which is always important in the playoffs, especially if you're dealing with injuries. So, yeah, I think the Grizzlies could surprise a lot of people, even though they have a great record.
Yeah, no. When I was looking through this, there's no one in the East.
I thought the same thing.
We have those 3 teams, and the Knicks just
have already.
They have to go through either Cleveland or Boston to get there.
I saw the stat that they're 0-7 against Cleveland, Boston, and what was the third team? OKC.
Yeah, the 3 best teams in the NBA.
You're not. I mean, you can't win one game against any of them in the regular season. It's clip. That's it.
Yeah. No, I agree. They got embarrassed this weekend.
I'm sick of this fucking team.
I like the Warriors pick. I fear a little bit having the 2 non-spacers out there with Jimmy and Draymond, but
if there were
it's
ever
been
2
working
that
right
can
now.
make it work.
Yeah, B-Pods is playing well for them.
He has, yes.
The Mavs is cool. I think it's too much getting back all at once. You gotta work in all 3 centers and kind of figure out how they're going to play off each other in a short amount of time. So I don't know if this is the year for them because they're all out right now. The Grizzlies is cool. I went with the Clippers, man. The Clippers are playing they're probably the most underrated team in the NBA this year. I mean, Ty Lue has these guys at number 3 in defensive rating. They just added, listen, you can say what you want about him, just added Ben Simmons, who's an elite defender. He'll play well, and he's played well so far. And just the way James Harden is facilitating the offense right now, the way Norman Powell's shooting the rock, the way Zubac is playing, you add a guy like Kawhi back to that, and listen, we haven't seen it for a full playoff run, but even in the little spurts, we know Kawhi Leonard will show up come playoff time if he's in the lineup. He'll play well if he's in the lineup.
It's a big if.
Yeah.
I think they have a team where they could really be cautious when him coming back. Right now, they've been able to survive without him. He's not playing back-to-backs and any of that stuff, and he's been fine since he came back. But I'm sure they're just being cautious with even his workload when he's on the court and kind of saving him as much as they can. And
It's been good.
So
like,
who's their starting five? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Zubac.
No.
Oh,
the
I'm sorry.
lineup.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
That's my fault. Who is their starting five man?
No, I shouldn't know. Yeah. Harden starts at point.
Harden,
Norm is the
Powell.
2.
Yeah.
I mean, in an ideal world, I'd say it's probably Kawhi at the 3.
And then
Derrick Jones Jr. there?
yeah,
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he is. I think he
Yeah,
starts
Derrick
for them,
Jones
but
and-
I don't know for sure.
then Zubats.
Zubac.
And then Zoo.
Chris Dunn starts sometimes for them too.
And he's been good.
He's been really good.
They've
been
been
solid as hell for
great
them.
defenders.
Yeah.
You know, Amir Coffey's been good for them. They just picked up a Bogdan at the trade deadline.
Yes, I forgot about that. He's been asked this
he's
year.
been asked this year, but you know, maybe a change of scenery, maybe playing off a guy like James Harden could help him a little bit, just getting him some open looks. So I think they're. If Kawhi Leonard wasn't Kawhi Leonard, and he was a normal superstar that doesn't get hurt in the playoffs every year, and he was just coming back from an injury, we'd be saying this team is a contender.
100%.
But because it's
Sure,
Kawhi
yeah.
Leonard and we can't trust Kawhi Leonard come playoff time, that's
Right.
the reservation. Maybe they get a healthy Kawhi for 2 rounds and go to the conference final. He don't got to stay healthy for all 4 rounds for this to
Yeah.
be the case. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, they as of right now they'd match up against Memphis in the first round. Which again, if you have Kawhi, that's
I don't know.
Dude, Memphis
yeah,
is really that
that's
team
a-
that always gets saddled with playing
right.
the team that
yeah.
Memphis
can make the
don't want to
run.
see the Clippers.
No,
bro.
I agree.
Why?
I agree. But
No.
they could very easily drop into the play-in. And again, even if you are like Thunder or Nuggets in the top 2,
you don't want to
you
see
don't-
the Clippers.
I mean, you really don't want to see.
You don't want to see the Warriors and you don't want to see the Clippers.
There's a lot
the
of
6
teams.
through 10 right now. It's separated by 2 games: Clippers, Wolves, Mavericks, Warriors, Kings. You don't really want to see any of those teams.
I don't
other than,
think any
like,
team-
West
Sacramento.
is loaded. Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
any team minds if the Rockets drop down there. I don't think
To the
anyone
play-in,
fears
I
the
don't know if
Rockets.
that's going to happen, but
I don't think
They
anyone
really
fears the
good
Rockets.
yeah.
But I would not want to play the Warriors. I would not want to play the Clippers. I feel indifferent about the T-Wolves. I don't know. I don't know how you guys.
Hey,
I think
man,
the T-Wolves
I mean,
are just so
I want to
painfully
play
mid.
the Timberwolves.
I want to play the Timberwolves
Out of
too.
those teams, yeah.
I
Over the
definitely wanna
Clippers and
play the
Warriors, I
T-Wolves.
would agree. Yeah.
The Suns, I don't think I want to see in a playoff series, even though they always suck. Just because
Bro.
it's D-Book and KD.
Give me the Suns, bro. They're so bad.
They're horrible.
They're pretty
They're
ass.
so
They're
bad.
horrible.
They are ass, but it's still Devin
yeah,
Booker
but like
and
we
Kevin
said the same
Durant.
thing last year, and they got him back. Like
2
they
guys
got killed.
can't beat
Yeah.
you, bro.
I was on Trev's podcast the other day. Shout out Trev and the 2 Pointers podcast. Go check that out. But we did a segment like similar to this, and he asked me like, "What about the Suns?" Like, I know you were big on them when they got Bradley Beal. I'm like, bro, it's cooked, bro. Like,
So good.
Yusuf
Nick Richards out there,
Nurkic was
yeah.
so bad for them that Nick Richards is even worse, and they still just said, like, Nurkic, like, you're relieved of your duties. Like, he wasn't playing for a month before he got traded. They just said, like, you're so bad, you can't be out there. Tyus Jones, like, we all thought Tyus Jones was going to be good for them. Complete fucking wash. And then you got fucking Coach Bud. You got Ryan Dunn playing more minutes in the fucking Rising Stars game than he's played over the last month combined. He's getting, like, 20 seconds played in some of these games, and it's like, bro, you're letting Tyus Jones and Grayson Allen give up bucket after bucket, gang. Like, you have one of the best defenders in the world. Put him on the fucking court. You guys suck.
No, they're
You
real
guys
bad.
give up bucket after bucket, and you have like a top 30, 40 like perimeter defender in the world sitting on your bench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Actually, Swiss cheese.
Yeah, no, I'll
Basically, call them the Phoenix Swiss cheese, bro.
if you can't beat
That's
Phoenix,
what they
if
are.
you're one of the top 2 teams, you can't beat
That was
Phoenix in the first
that was
round.
bad.
It's true. It's not a joke. They're terrible.
The Phoenix Swiss cheese. They should
Call them the
rebrand.
Phoenix Solar Systems because they have so much space.
All right, bro.
That was good, actually. Okay, that was
That's
good.
fucking stupid.
I thought that was
But
Bro,
yeah, the Suns are.
Shea,
that was
he's
good.
fucking.
Yeah.
the
What's he?
Mercury.
What Shannon Sharp say? Like mac and cheese, oxtail, pigs in a
No.
blanket, all
No,
that
he said-
shit.
what'd he
That's
say?
what,
They playing like
What did you
it.
say the other day?
Playing
UFC,
like Brittany Griner.
AFC, whatever. Lakers at 5.
bro, the Thunder are licking their freaking chops at
Yeah.
the Phoenix Suns. They'd be so happy if they snuck in
The
there.
Nuggets
and
too.
did
You're
that.
gonna put
think
Nick
that-
Richards on Jokic, like
Yeah.
Bro, Shea
Put
going
anyone
against
on
Tyus
Jokic.
Jones and fucking
Except for Rui, I
Grayson
guess.
Allen, bro. Shea's averaging 40 in
Yeah.
that series.
100%.
Nah, Shea averages 33 no matter who it is. That's
Right.
all.
What
That's all
did
it is.
Chad Ochocinco say? He said, "Stay with me now."
Look. In my personal opinion, as for the Clippers,
He said,
to
"I
run
ran
it.
out of PP."
Oh, bro, Ocho is
said-
comedy.
Say go deep. That's it. That's all I got.
Story of my life. Yo, for the Clippers. It's been ifs every single time. It's been an if every single time. I've been the king of hypotheticals, and I'm done with that team. So I don't want to. I just can't with them anymore. I'm sick and tired of the Kawhi if he stays healthy. If this happens, if that happens, I'm done. I'm done. All right. Kawhi was my guy. I'm fucking done. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out on the Clippers. They're cooked. It's
Oh, bro,
not
remember
happening.
he blew that 3-1 lead?
Oh
Roll in
my
your basement?
god,
I'll
bro.
never forget.
Yep.
That
I was
lit.
so sad.
Yeah. Yep.
So sad. That was a horrible day for me.
That was a good day.
It was an awesome day.
That was a
Horrible
good
day.
day.
I've had some of the worst moments in Chris's basement. The 3-1 lead, the Yankees fucking losing in the playoffs. Just damn, bro.
All
It's been
bad.
rough.
Don't go
It's been
back
real
there,
bad.
the LeBron
The
party.
Yankees losing in the play. How long ago was that?
That was like 5
Remember that?
I was
That's every year though.
Wow.
You had to have been
But
there.
I was
it was
so
like
sad,
game
bro.
5 of the finals in the bubble, and we were all in my
Danny
all
Green, bro.
in my fucking room. Like
I don't know if I
all
was
of
there.
us.
You were definitely
You
there.
were, everyone
we had
was there,
so
bro.
many
We like
people in
fucking
that room.
12 people in my bedroom, bro. And fucking LeBron was going ham, bro. And he kicked that
he
bitch
kicked
out
out
to
Danny
Danny
Green.
Green, and he bricked it, bro. And we were devastated. We were all wearing LeBron jerseys, bro. We had a LeBron party.
We did have a LeBron party.
I don't think
We
I was
were
there.
all
I
there.
really don't think I was there.
Tom, you
We were
had
there.
to have been there, bro.
I
Bro, we were
I don't
all
know.
in my bedroom, bro.
He had
were
like 7
that's what
people
that's why
laying
I feel
in
like
his
I feel
bed.
like I would know if I was there.
Had to have been there, bro.
Were we
Bro,
friends with you yet?
John was
Yeah,
we were
100%.
friends.
Yeah.
John was there.
John was there. Tom had to be
He
there.
had to have been there.
All
Or
right,
at
yeah,
least
I
you
guess I was
had to
there.
have got the invite.
No,
and just
obviously,
didn't
I definitely
come.
got the invite. Yeah.
Bro,
I
it
would've.
was.
That was good.
Yeah, it was a time.
So out east,
bro.
we're not like the
No.
Knicks got to go through the Celtics or Cavs.
No,
and
Pistons?
they can't right now.
no, stop. They are playing some real good ball recently.
Pistons
Wait,
are on
what did
7 in a row.
what did Cade say to Malik Beasley in the interview?
Don't touch me. I'm
said, "Don't touch me. I'm
hot."
sizzling, I'm sizzling." Yo, Cade is
That's my
Cade is
dog,
hooping,
bro.
bro. Cade is hooping. It's good to see him healthy with the solid.
I don't
Only
even
7
like
in a row.
want to
Solid
take a
ass team.
victory lap on that because it's just like it was
Everyone
so obvious,
should've known,
bro.
What?
I mean-
like
That Cade was this.
oh yeah.
Like
I thought you meant like the Pistons were this.
I don't think
'cause-
anybody was ever really doubting that Cabe was him.
People
I think it was
were,
just
though.
the team
There was
around
people,
him.
yeah.
people
but-
were though.
Were they though? Was it
Ball
just 'cause he
knowers
was
knew
hurt?
that Cade was a
I feel
star,
like he
you
just
know?
lost stock when he got hurt.
he was getting hurt a lot.
He did get
Yeah.
hurt, but people thought he just like wasn't number one, like a franchise number one. People were saying that.
Yeah, and he absolutely
He's
is
the
that.
guy, bro.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
does everything.
People thought he was like a complimentary guy. Like he's the guy, bro.
Think about like if he gets a second star in
Bro.
Detroit.
He's killing.
It's gonna be
bro.
scary
Like
hours,
on all
bro.
3 levels, bro. Like he's shooting the 3-ball well. He's killing in the mid range as always. He's
a great
finishing
playmaker.
better.
Who,
He's elite, bro.
who's his best compliment? Do you think?
Like as a star in the league,
Yeah,
someone who's like could be available or just in general.
could be available. Realistic.
Yeah.
Devin Booker.
Yes.
You don't think it's a big? It's a pair with.
I mean, a big would play well with him too. I
Like
mean, he
Devin
could
Booker.
fit with anyone.
Yeah.
Debo could be
What
fine.
big? What big?
You
would
don't
even
need
be
like a
available?
Joel Embiid. Like he needs a
Jaren's not available at any point, right?
Absolutely.
he
not.
needs like a Jared Allen. Like a Jared Allen, I feel like
That's
would
not a
play-
star.
I know. I'm just
When I'm-
saying.
when I'm asking
Jared
for
But
a
that's what I'm
star
saying.
in his
Cade
role.
don't need to play alongside a
disrespect
star
Jared
big.
Allen.
He just needs to play alongside
Yeah, I like
a guy who
Booker
sets
if
good
he-
screens
yeah.
and roll. Book like playing because Cade could play off the ball a little bit too.
Yeah.
He's better with the ball, but Book could play off the ball.
Imagine
Obviously,
Detroit traded for Kevin Durant.
KD was on the.
That'd be nasty.
He would never.
That'd be disgusting.
Katie would never.
But not up to him.
Come on, it isn't. It isn't.
It's crazy. The Pistons used to be like the cool NBA team. They used to be like a cool team to play for. Now it's just embarrassing.
Yeah, they were cool in like the 2000s.
Yeah,
early
exactly.
2000s.
Yeah.
Then they had Andre
Yeah,
Drummond.
then 20 years happened.
Andre Drummond was
Andre
afraid.
Drummond making fucking all-star
They rolled
team.
out Andre
Years,
Drummond
bro.
and Reggie Jackson.
Bro,
as their fucking-
Bro,
Bro, when
don't
they got
dis-
Reggie Jackson, it was like, holy shit, like it's up for the best.
bro.
Yo, and he was cooking. cooking though.
He was.
He was
Yo,
nice. He was
remember when
nice.
they got
Yeah.
Brandon Jennings, bro?
That
I
one,
thought Brandon Jennings was the truth.
that one Blake Griffin year was so
Oh,
He
fire.
averaged like
magical.
25 for
It was
those. That's
magical.
insane.
Blake Griffin was so good, dude. Oh
He
my
made the
god,
All-NBA team, I think, that year. He was an MVP. Like,
bro.
I think he was like 5th in MVP voting that year or some shit,
yeah,
bro.
he was hitting
Blake was
step back
him.
threes, bro. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
That's a fever dream, bro. That was a fucking fever dream. Blake Griffin on the Pistons.
Blake Griffin and Andre
And then he
Drummond.
joined the Nets. We thought they were gonna be amazing, and he just never was the same.
Hey, Blake had some solid ass games with the Nets, bro. I remember that playoff run.
Wouldn't know
Blake,
Troy Blake.
I forgot, bro. I forgot who Blake was guarding, but Blake was like guarding a guy that we called a star, and he was just locking his shit up and like hitting threes on the other end. It was just crazy.
Who
Blake
was-
Griffin, man.
someone on the Bucks.
Really were robbed of that. Nets
Giannis,
team.
yes.
It was
Blake
Giannis?
was the Giannis stopper.
Wow.
Yes, and hitting threes on the other end, bro. We were
Giannis
like, yo,
stopper.
Blake is so back. The Nets are
Man, the
unstoppable.
Bucks really shouldn't have won that series.
No
The Nets should've
business.
won that.
No business winning that series.
You ever hear Jeff Teague tell the story about how he's sitting on the bench and he's
Like
talking
50
with-
times, bro.
yeah.
I feel like that's the only story that dude tells,
Yeah,
bro.
with PJ Tucker guarding Kevin Durant. And
Yes.
PJ's getting tight, and he's like, he's cooking that motherfucker. He's like, he's doing PJ is doing everything he possibly can, and he's just getting
He
cooked.
told the story again the other day. He said, yeah, like we all kind of knew, like if we lost this, like Coach Bud was gonna get fired. He was like, yeah, he told me like he's thinking about going back to Indiana when he gets fired. I was like, yo, like I'm a free agent, like sign me. Like we're down 2-0, so we're trying to get ready for next year. And then Kyrie
Wow.
gets hurt, and we were like, oh shit, we
Shit,
can
it's
win this.
Yeah, Kyrie got hurt, and they were
Talking
like,
about
oh,
going
shit,
back
we
to
can-
Indiana in mid-playoff
Mid
series.
playoff
So
series
crazy.
is crazy.
Down
With your
2-0.
coach,
So
Down
insane.
2-0.
with your coach is
so funny.
nuts.
Yo, bring me to Indiana down 2-0, bro.
Bro, Jeff Teague is great for NBA
Jeff Teague was
media.
there for any story worth telling too. It's like, bro, the story him. He fouls the shit out of LeBron. He like elbows him in the playoffs. And I don't know the names of the other guys on the podcast. One was like, "Why'd you shove LeBron like that?" He was like, "Cause I'm 0-4 against that motherfucker in the playoffs."
He was busting my ass.
Busted my
That's
ass.
why.
I ain't never beat him. I ain't never beat him. I was sick of that shit.
You don't realize like how funny some of these dudes really are. I always
It's
thought
just true,
like
'cause,
Jeff
like,
Teague was just like mild
dude,
mannered,
yeah.
like laid back. Bro, he gets on his podcast and he's hilarious.
No, he's
bro.
mad funny. He was saying after they won the championship in Milwaukee, he was like, "Ain't shit to do in Milwaukee. I was trying to go clubbing. Like, shit to do. I went home. Like,
I went home.
went
Bro,
home,
think
but
about
with
that
Atlanta
Atlanta
or some
Hawks
shit.
team. Who the fuck? Like, I never would have thought that locker room was funny.
Yeah.
Al Horford, Paul Millsap, Jeff Teague, and Kyle Korver. They were
Yeah.
probably having a grand old time.
yeah,
Probably electric.
Chris knew they were funny. Yeah. Chris.
Paul Millsap's my dog, bro.
Paul Millsap.
The-
Models his game after him.
Like
Paul
the-
Millsap needs to drop a podcast soon.
No, he doesn't.
Paul
I
Millsap.
haven't seen him in like you think you'd see like a podcast clip of him floating around there somewhere. I ain't seen shit of Paul.
Yeah, why has
Millsap, bro.
nobody had
Like-
Paul on? We should hit up Paul Millsap.
Like I listened to Zach Randolph on Paul George's podcast.
That
He was
good.
awesome. Yeah,
that
he was dope.
good.
Yeah.
Cool dude.
If I was
Who we knew
rich
he was
and
Well,
a
Zach
retired
Randolph
NBA
has,
player,
like,
you'd never
crazy
hear from me again.
Story though too.
What?
What with the
You'd never hear from
Jailblazers
me
and
again.
everything? Yeah. That was crazy.
I disagree.
I
If
forget
I was
how it went
rich and a
a while ago.
retired NBA player, I would
Well,
be.
he was getting in trouble in college too for
Yeah. Yep.
Who?
Zach Randolph.
Z-Bo.
He was telling
Junkyard
stories about
dog.
the Jailblazers in the early 2000s, and they were just like, he was telling about the one guy, this big ass center. I don't know I don't remember his name, but he just like he said he just body slammed him one day because in the locker room, this dude's like 7'3" and fucking jacked. He stands up, he's like, man, can't nobody fuck with me, and he's like flexing and shit, and they would like wrestle in the locker room like for fun. Jailblazers, I guess. Like they were just chilling.
Yeah.
And Zach was like, rookie Z-Bo was like, I got it. And he just fucking body slams him and like actually hurt him.
Bro, Zach Randolph is like one of those dudes that
He's a junkyard dog.
you don't
Yeah.
fuck with them. Like
Yeah.
they're one of the
No,
he's
all
one
the
of
way
those
around.
guys. Oh,
Zach
The
Randolph was
7'3"
like,
guy
well,
body slammed.
Zach Randolph was a rookie.
Oh.
And he was like, that's when I learned what grown man strength was.
Oh.
Like, grown man strength is different, especially when you're a professional 7-foot athlete.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah.
JYD.
who the
Junkyard
fuck
dog.
was it?
I don't know. I don't even know if you know his name. I'll pull up the roster and I'll get his name.
I'm curious now. But
What was that, 02?
who else? You said back to your point. Who'd you pick? You picked
Me?
Yeah,
I picked Dallas.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm out on the Mavs.
Oh, I don't know
That's
how to say his
nasty.
name. His
Nasty
first name's
shit.
Ruben. You tell me. You tell me how to say the rest of that name.
Rick Brunson.
No, above Rick Brunson, you fucking idiot. Ruben
Boomsy, boomsy.
Yep, you got it. That's it.
The fuck
That's him though.
is that name? I just saw Rick and I wanted to say his name. Shout out Rick Brunson.
I can't say.
Shout out Rick Brunson, bro. Shout out my boy.
But yeah, he was 7 foot 257.
Jeez.
Jack. Yeah,
That's small.
Jack.
Jeez. Well, think about it. Like, if I was 7 foot, I'd be about 250.
At least.
When you like, yeah.
Sure.
So that's really not
Yeah.
that jacked.
Yeah, but like professional athlete 257.
Like no body.
You know,
fat.
not like me
I'd
257.
buy
Yeah.
him. I'd buy
Sure.
him.
Okay.
Zach Randolph, a former NBA player, has been called the Garbage Man as a nickname that refers to his role as a junkyard dog for the Memphis Grizzlies.
It's a sick nickname.
I feel like I don't like the connotations that he get, like garbage man and junkyard dog. I feel like,
I like
Zach Randolph's a nice
junkyard
guy. No, I like junkyard.
Bro,
Dog.
Junkyard
he made
Dog's
the
a
All-Star
sick
game
nickname.
off deadass just being a dog, bro.
He did, yeah.
Zach Randolph
He
was
did.
good hoops, man.
I mean, he was
Randolph
20 and
was
10 of
great hoop.
just dog.
You knew you were getting 20 and 10.
20
out
and
of that
10,
man on
a
nightly
painful
basis.
20 and 10 too.
Yeah,
Like,
oh my
yeah.
God. The opponent
Yo, the
would
Great
feel
Grind
him.
Grizzlies were lit,
That
bro.
motherfucker had like a 34-inch.
Bro,
vertical.
Mike Conley was giving
What?
Maybe
buckets.
less.
Oh
I'm
man,
exaggerating.
that was
34
inch.
inch?
Nah, like he had no.
Bro,
he
Zach
didn't
Randolph
jump.
had like a 12-inch vert.
Yeah, he didn't. He can't
If
jump.
that. No, those Memphis Grizzlies teams were fire. Bro.
Terrell Arthur.
You cannot, bro.
Arthur. Rudy Gay.
Oh.
What was it? 2K12 Rudy Gay or some shit.
Bro, Mike Conley, Tony Allen, Zach Randolph, Marcus All, them boys.
OJ Mayo before the drugs.
OJ Mayo before the drugs.
OJ Mayo
Yes.
before the drugs, man.
Or was it OJ Mayo
about
on the drugs? We'll never know.
Bro,
Probably on the.
We'll
drugs.
never know.
What
he
am
was
I-
supposed to be the GOAT.
One of the
bro.
coolest moments, most forgotten moments in NBA history is that Tyreek Evans half-court game winner? Like right before that, OJ Mayo fading off one leg
Yep.
knocks down
That
a
was
crazy.
peak hoop,
Yeah.
bro. We don't get shit like that. We don't get matchups like OJ Mayo versus Tyreek Evans no
You don't
more.
get Tyreek Evans half-court game winners no more.
OJ Mayo versus
Bro, we
Tyreek
get
Evans.
Scoot Henderson versus fucking
Kyle Kuzma.
yeah. That's the shit we're getting now, bro.
Bro, Tyreek Evans was really the truth, too.
Bro, Jordan
Oh
Poole.
my
Jordan
God.
Poole.
Was he
and
rookie of the year?
freaking
Tyreek Evans, yeah.
Yeah,
CJ
Tyreek was
McCollum.
that dude, bro.
I mean, yeah.
Tyreek was really that dude.
Peaked in his rookie year, and then he peaked in high school. Like
Yeah, he really did.
But he was
that
still-
makes no sense.
he was still great.
How guys peak in their rookie year and then get worse. Like,
I mean, I think that's what happens when you go to Sacramento Kings. They just don't.
They also kept
back in the early
drafting
2010s.
guards, so he
Yeah.
was a point
True.
guard when he first came out, and then they kept moving. He was a small forward by the time he left there,
Yeah,
which was just weird.
shout
yeah.
out Michael Carter Williams. Speaking of guys that peak in their rookie
I remember.
rookie game. Rookie game.
Yeah, I was watching. I was out to eat with my dad and my brother, and we were watching the Knicks when they almost lost to the Sixers. That lost like 25 games in a row or whatever it was. My heart was beating out of its chest. I did not want to lose that game because Michael Carter Williams was like going crazy. I think he missed. MELO hit like a last-second shot, and then someone missed the game winner, and I was like, whew, thank God it wasn't us, man.
For a long time, the Knicks would just have randoms popping off on us over and over again.
It still kind of happens.
It does still happen sometimes.
Like, not that he's a random, but like Cam Johnson had like 42 against us last year or something.
42 is
Obviously not a
nuts.
random, but
No,
They
but
got the
that's-
magnet ball, bro, against us
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we just suck, dude. Maybe we just suck.
forever.
This version of us, maybe we just suck.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're definitely not, tying in with the segment. We ain't making no conference finals as things stand right now.
No.
But Mitchell Robinson's going to come back, and he's
We
not going
have-
to change a fucking thing.
We have Mitchell Robinson.
I don't think that's true. I think he brings a presence.
I think
down
grand
low.
scheme, he's not going to change anything.
Like,
We're still not making the conference. We're still second round
Bro,
exit.
if we are thinking that Mitchell
Mitchell
Robinson is
Robinson.
our fucking savior, shut the season down.
with or
We ain't-
without
we ain't
Mitchell
going
Robinson, we're
nowhere.
a second round
okay,
exit.
but can I? Okay, watching the Celtics game, I think the way the game started, it was way too easy for them to get to the basket, and I think when the Knicks were making the comeback was when they figured out how to keep them on the perimeter, and the Knicks were able to make a 20-point comeback. That's the key
Sure.
to what the Knicks are doing. They have no help down low, bro. It's Cat who sucks.
Right.
He can only play against Jokic for God knows why, and then Precious who's undersized.
But
And then that's it.
If Mitch is out there, what do you do with Cat on defense? Like, he's still got a guard.
Okay, but he's at the 4.
Yeah,
That's
it's not a good thing.
It's a better
Yeah,
position
that's-
for Cat to guard than another big man because
No, he's
not
a good post defender. He's a bad help defender. That's just how it is.
But he's
He's
also not a
horrible help
good
defender.
on-ball defender because he always fouls, too.
Yes.
Like, he fouls a lot.
My
He
thing
has a lot
is
of
like,
offensive fouls, too, which is kind of annoying. But
I'm never gonna fucking forgive Isaiah Hartenstein for leaving us.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'd be the best team in the league with that.
I definitely
motherfucker right
forgive
now.
him.
What are you giggling
He
at
doubled
over
the
there, bro?
salary.
What are you giggling at?
Looking stuff up for a TikTok to do after this. LeBron's nickname is Benjamin Buckets.
We
Bro, I want to do that TikTok for
Remember
what?
when we-
Basketball
Do
reference.
you remember when we had the
Yeah.
podcast
That's
and
a
we were
good one.
talking about
Benjamin
guys'
Buckets.
nicknames and stuff, and we said that.
Bless you.
We had a
Benjamin
pod where
I
we
know,
said that.
I know.
Oh,
That's
okay,
why
cool.
I'm giggling because that shit was bad footage.
Bro, that was electric. We had-
Benjamin Buckets.
and Baby Boy.
Baby boy.
Baby Boy.
That's his nickname, Baby
Yes.
I
Boy.
remember
Oh,
we
that-
did the Jeopardy thing, and one of the like hard questions was which
hard?
NBA player, like rock hard, which NBA player is nicknamed Lil Drip?
Who is
I
it?
forgot.
Isaiah Cannon.
What up, little drip?
Well, that's not an NBA player anymore. That is
Well, back then, yeah, you know,
probably a Chinese basketball league player now. But Isaiah Cannon was the truth too.
he could have been. He could have been something good.
But all right, I think that's enough for this
What else we got?
segment.
That's it.
No, that's not
no.
it.
Next is my thing.
Fuck the Knicks.
Yeah, so the Knicks are overrated, some would say, right? So
Say so.
yeah. So this past weekend, I put up a poll on our Instagram story where I asked you guys, our followers, the most overrated players in NBA history, and you guys gave some interesting responses. So I have the 5 most responded names, the 5 most common answers. I'll put it that way, and I'm gonna set up a debate style format where you guys are gonna tell me. I'm gonna pick 2 of you. Each of you are gonna make your case as to why this player is not overrated or why they are. So the way I'm setting this up is I had you 2 in mind as the debaters, and then I had you and Pete as judges. If you want to hop in and switch if you guys want to figure out who's doing what.
I'm totally cool as a judge.
Okay, perfect.
You don't want to debate?
Bro.
If I have something to say, I'll say it.
Yeah, all right, that's fine. So the way I had it set up was I'm gonna drop the name, and then I'm gonna say, Chris, you're gonna tell me why he's overrated. Matt, you're gonna tell me why he's not. I'm gonna give you guys a minute to like formulate your argument, just so it's cohesive and you're not just like saying thoughts as they pop into your head. And then you each get 2 minutes to present your case and a 45-second rebuttal.
2 minutes is a long fucking time.
You want to do a minute and a half?
Yeah.
All right, minute and a half to present your case, and then a 45-second rebuttal, and then Dean's gonna make his decision on who made the better case. So you have to try and not use your prior knowledge on this one. All right.
All right.
So
Oh, nice.
first up, the most common answer wasn't. The most common answer was Carmelo Anthony. So
I wonder
Matt?
who said that.
I'm gonna have you debate why Carmelo Anthony is overrated.
Oh,
Chris, you're gonna debate why he's
shit.
not overrated. So I'm gonna put a minute timer.
So am I debating that he's underrated or just that
No,
he's
just
not,
that he's not overrated.
Okay, that's
Yes.
fine.
So like,
That's fine.
I'd say in your arguments, try to establish where he should be all time. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
because overrated can be a little subjective, so we
Yeah.
want to try and create some.
I'm
parameters
ready.
For it. You ready to go?
Yeah, I don't need stats for this one.
No,
brother.
you don't have to look up stats or just so like you.
Oh, I'm good to go.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
Melo is very simple.
All right, let me put the timer up. Hold on.
Yeah, we gotta like talk through this process. So because
Yeah,
we're
sure.
still podcasting, Dean, you have any thoughts?
On the most overrated players between
Well, what do you think about Carmelo
general.
Anthony being overrated?
I think when we were in like 2009, 2010, he wasn't overrated. But I think if you take a step back and look at his career as a whole, it's a bit underwhelming.
Yes.
I think if you look at his accolades and look at what he accomplished, it's less than what he should have done given how good he was.
I agree.
Alright. So with that being said, Matt, I'm gonna let you go first. You got a minute 30 to tell me why Carmelo Anthony is overrated starting now.
I just think discourse around Carmelo Anthony is disgustingly nostalgic because we look back and we remember some great moments for sure, but when you actually take a broad view of what Carmelo Anthony was able to accomplish in his career, it's a whole lot of nothing. The man has had cool, 25 to 30 point per game seasons, but we all look at Carmelo Anthony as a scorer, and his career field goal percentage is 44%. If I look at a guy as a scorer, as a volume scorer at that, I am going to look at a guy that is going to be efficient throughout the entirety of their career because Efficient scorers are what you look for, number one. And if you're not going to be incredibly efficient, at least bring me something playmaking. At least bring me something defensively. And not just yell, get the fuck out of here when you're going to get a rebound. I'd like for you to do more on the basketball court if I'm going to look at you as a superstar. I will never look at you as a superstar if all you can do is just score. And that was what Melo was known for. And that is all Melo was ever known for, because he never elevated his teammates, never made them better. He, correct me if I'm wrong, made the conference finals one time in his career with Denver, and that was it. Never made an NBA finals, never elevated a teammate. That's not a superstar. That is not Carmelo Anthony.
All right. And there you go.
Would you
Chill with that.
Would you say that, you know, part of him not making the conference finals was just being in an East with the freaking Heatles, dude? Like,
I mean, he lost to the Pacers.
Yep.
Didn't make things easier, though.
He lost to teams that he never should have lost to, though. And the Heat, I remember we all looked back at it, and we thought the Knicks actually had a legitimate chance of beating the Heat.
That one
But we're
year, the
also Knicks fans.
2012, 2013 season was the one year.
NBA discourse in general, people thought the Knicks could beat the Heat back then. We had a great team, and we couldn't get it done. And I mean, granted, it's LeBron and Wade, but still, if you're that guy...
Was that when Amari punched the fire extinguisher?
No,
that was when Amari was healthy.
Oh, okay.
All
right.
So, yeah, you're that guy.
Chris, your minute and a half begins now.
Carmelo Anthony. He says he's not a winner. Carmelo Anthony is a national champion.
Oh, fucking Christ. Come
Carmelo
on,
Anthony
Chris.
is a national champion. That matters. He knows how to win. These teams just did a bad job constructing around him. The Knicks in 2012, 2013, it was a great year. And yeah, Melo and the rest of the guys came up short. But what did they expect to happen in the future? When they assembled their team of all 45-year-old men, they got old. And Melo had no help. And Phil Jackson came to town and ruined our glorious king, Carmelo Anthony. But I promise you, there aren't 25 players in NBA history who are better at jab, pull than Carmelo Anthony. It don't matter about the stats. It don't matter about the wins and losses. Carmelo Anthony passes the aura check. That's all I need to say.
You still got 30 seconds.
That's all I need to say.
Can I take the other 20 seconds?
No, you're going to get a rebuttal right now.
Oh, okay,
All right,
cool.
I'll do a 30-second rebuttal.
I mean, I think...
That's the argument of a man that doesn't believe what he just fucking said.
Yeah, I mean, Carmelo Anthony is the perfect second fiddle.
Yes.
He's the perfect second fiddle, but he's not the guy that we look back and think that he is. Especially as Knicks fans, when we look back in Knicks history, we think of him as like a top 5 Knick of all time. Unfortunately, our franchise is just that bad.
I'm going to be honest with
But
you. Jalen Brunson is already a greater Knick.
already
all
a
time.
better Knick. Already a better Knick.
Argue with a fucking wall. It's the truth.
Sure.
So, unfortunately, in professional sports leagues, you need results. Carmelo Anthony ain't never get no results.
I agree. I mean, that's kind of, and you could start a timer on the rebuttal. You don't even need to do that. It doesn't matter. It's just discourse now. I
don't really think Melo's overrated in the grand scheme of things. So, like, where's he rated? He's a top 50 player of all time. I think he's not a top 50 player of all time. He's a fucking 10-time All-Star, 6-time first-team All-NBA scoring champ.
I mean, I can't rattle you 50 players.
You're not going to get to
NBA
50
right now.
guys better at basketball than Carmelo Anthony.
I don't
You're
know.
not.
I don't know.
You're not.
Like I said. I mean, if you want to put him as
Well, you
50,
were one.
whatever.
You said he was overrated. So where do you think he's rated that he shouldn't be?
I think
You
he's
know,
on the edge of like the top 70 all time. I don't
think Melo never won because of how he plays, like, ever. I think towards the end of the career, yeah, because he couldn't adjust to being
role player.
not even a role player, but not the guy. But I think when he was the guy, like, he was good enough in Denver to get past the Lakers, and Kobe was just on one. In New York, like I said, like, I genuinely believe that the Knicks completely failed constructing a roster around him. They constructed a roster in 2012, 2013 that was a ticking time bomb, and they only had one chance, and it was with a relatively new head coach. And granted, they did everything right in that 2013 season after Linsanity, Raymond Felton coming back. You had Jason Kidd, you had Sheed, you had Marcus Camby, but you had Pablo Prigioni. But the roster was a ticking time bomb. These guys were all 35 plus years old, and he should have got out of the second round. They should have beat the Pacers. He folded, yes. But everything after that, when they brought in Phil Jackson, he didn't have a chance after that. I'm sorry,
No.
the last 3 to 4, maybe even 5 years of Melo's prime, he didn't have a chance.
I don't disagree with that, but it's also the fact that in the years that he did have his best chances, the guy is a sub 40% shooter in playoffs. That's insane. From a superstar, I don't give a fuck what your situation is. You should never be sub 40% as a superstar in the play. I don't care. You're not a playoff riser. Carmelo just wasn't.
But I agree. He's not a playoff riser. James Harden, and I think James Harden clears Melo, but
he does.
James Harden's not a playoff riser either.
But his
so
stats
James
weren't.
Harden not a superstar.
But his weren't a significant. And also, James Harden always made his teammates better. Always made his teammates better. He's one of the best playmakers in NBA history.
I guess
that's a big difference. Not only was he a 35 point per game
forward,
but if you're a superstar, make the guys around you better.
I think the guys around Melo got better
or at least
inherently
do
by
something,
playing with Carmelo Anthony.
Or at least do something else.
He was getting doubled
at an elite level
every night.
The only thing
He was
Melo
an
ever
elite
did that was elite
rebounder.
was score.
I think Melo made J.R. Smith better. He made Raymond Felton better.
Yeah.
Raymond Felton blows, but he was good when he was with Carmelo Anthony.
No,
He was
yeah,
not good.
But it's not like Melo made no one better. Melo had gravity as a scorer that inherently made the people around him better.
But then what else did Melo do good?
Nothing. I'm not saying he did anything else good. He was a great rebounder.
Problem.
Yeah.
He was a great rebounder.
That's a problem, though. How am I going to consider you a superstar if all you do is score and you don't
But he
even
did
do
it
that
at the
to
best
a...
level in the
Well, I think you
league
could be a
at that time.
superstar. And
In an era where dudes weren't shooting 50% and shit like that in the early 2000s and shit, all field goal, if you look at everyone from that era's field goal
Yeah, it was
percentage.
the dead ball. Yeah, it was the dead ball.
low.
They weren't scoring.
And there are
But
people who say Kobe's the GOAT. Kobe's shooting percentages aren't that good. It was that era.
Kobe's a career 29% 3-point shooter.
yeah, he is. I mean, but also
I
I looked
agree
at Kobe
with some
right
of
now,
your
it-
sentiment, but saying Melo wasn't a superstar is that's wrong. That's not right.
Melo in his prime was a superstar, but he wasn't a superstar that I would have taken to go win a championship. He's a superstar that's going to put up numbers.
And Melo also
that's
never
cool.
had the fucking infrastructure around him to adjust his game until later on when he got with OKC, but OKC greased the shit out of him. We know that story. So
Yeah, he got
but even with the Knicks team that was mad good, the Knicks team in 2013 wasn't mad good because they had a bunch of great offensive players. They were a great defensive team around Melo, but he didn't have options to defer to if they weren't wide open. Landry Fields wasn't killing you off the catch. Shump wasn't killing you off the dribble.
No.
It was Jason Kidd wasn't at 40 years old wasn't killing you off the dribble. It's a bunch of catch and shoot guys. How much was? I feel like Melo got the most out of that group. That year, Melo was good enough as a number one to get over the hump. They fell short.
Melo
but-
too, even in
That's
Denver,
the thing, they fell
went toe to toe with Kobe. And, so I think Melo in his prime, later years, no, but he was good enough, I think, to be a.
Yeah,
build a
I mean, I
championship
guess
team
based
around.
on the
I
facts,
think
he
so.
wasn't because he didn't do it. But
I guess so, but
He
I
never
believe
had
James
a Pau
Harden was
Gasol.
good enough to get the
Right.
job done. He just didn't. I think a lot of people believe Chris Paul was good enough to get the job done. He just hasn't. I don't know. I think Melo's in that tier.
But that's the I don't think he's. I would have 100% taken prime Chris Paul and prime James Harden over Melo 100 out of 100.
Well, James Harden
I
won-
don't even
Yeah,
think it's
I agree.
close for me personally.
James Harden won an MVP.
James Harden is one of the greatest scorers and passers we've ever seen in the game.
I don't think anybody's disagreeing with that. They're both better than Carmelo Anthony all time.
Significantly.
Sure.
That's where
I'd say so, yeah.
stand.
I don't know where, general discourse is at as far as that goes, but I'm sure they,
I mean, in this
Yeah, Harden
era,
has an
in
MVP,
this
yeah.
era of basketball, where you need to have a guard to dominate your offense, basically. I'd take Chris Paul and James Harden over Carmelo Anthony.
those are
in
two of the best
early
offensive players
2000s,
ever.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
I agree.
Ever.
100%.
and engines of an offense too.
Right.
And Melo just wasn't an engine, and it's not a knock on
But that's
Carmelo
where
Anthony.
your
Paul
point
Pierce
comes in.
wasn't a engine of an offense. You know, Dominique
would've been a
Wilkins
perfect two.
wasn't an engine.
He would have been a perfect 2. That's where I'm with Dean on that. I think he's
think
the
that
In
perfect.
today's
Yeah,
era where
yeah.
your number one has to be a guy dominating the ball, sure. In Melo's era of his prime, you didn't have to be like a fucking guard to be the best player on a team, a championship team. Even you look at, and I know you're gonna say, well, Jokic is a guard, basically. Like Jokic is playing like a guard.
Well, no, you
dominating the ball.
need to be a great passer and scorer nowadays. You have to be both.
Sure.
It's how it works. Yeah,
Right, Melo didn't come up in this era. There were
Agree, but that.
Kobe wasn't.
But even back then, like
Kobe
but
wasn't
Kobe.
playing like
Kobe
Kobe.
was great at other things.
Yeah, I'm not saying Melo's Kobe, but what I'm saying is
But that's what I'm saying. He never got it done.
You're
He
holding him
was
to modern standards.
No, but even back then, he was so one-dimensional that's why he
I don't
never
think
got the
that's
job
why
done.
he
I don't,
never got
yeah,
the
I don't
job
think that's
done.
why either. I feel
Bro, I
like
don't
in
know. You
09,
shoot 40% from the field in the playoffs,
That
and you're
matters.
supposed to be
So
a
in-
bucket
so
getter.
in
Like, come on,
09
what are we doing?
In the 09 playoffs, when they made the Western Conference Finals, he averaged 27, 5 and 4 on 45% shooting.
That's
Like,
good.
That's pretty good. And the games against Kobe, he had the one stinker. He had 15 on 3 of 16, really bad. 21 on 4 of 13. But like he dropped 34 and 25 and 31 against Kobe. Like
And on the Knicks, what
went
did he
toe-to-toe
go to the
with Kobe,
playoffs
like-
with the Knicks 3 times? The first year he got there, they lost to the Celtics in the first round. The second year was when they lost to the Pacers, the second year they lost to the Heat.
In the first round.
And that was Lin Sanity year, but Jeremy Lin got hurt at the end of the season. Their second best player all year
Right.
got hurt. That was when Stat punched the fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
They never had it, and it was the fucking Heatles. They never had a chance.
never stood a chance.
And
Yeah.
then the third year they lost to the Pacers. If you want to point that out and say that's why Melo's not an all-time
Yeah, they
great
got
against time.
swept by Boston,
Yeah.
4-1 by Miami. They beat Boston in 2013, lost to Indiana
Yeah.
right after that. Yeah. So,
If you want to put the Indiana one on Melo, that's fine. But like the other ones, like what? I don't know.
bad numbers, man. It's just, I don't know. I guess maybe I look too much into stats, but I don't know. If you're going to be a superstar, even then, you got to bring something else to the table. Like, if you're going to have an off shooting night, I got to be able to
Do you
rely
think Melo
on you.
wasn't a superstar?
I think he's a superstar, but I just think he was the worst of the superstars back then.
But he wasn't. He wasn't the worst of the superstars in that era. He just wasn't.
He was not on the level of majority of the guys back then, in my personal
But he
opinion.
was. When we were in
Kobe,
2010,
LeBron, Wade,
2011,
Dirk, taking Dirk over him, obviously.
he was, but people thought of him on that level. Like, he was no slouch. He was
looked at,
He was
yeah.
a top 7 player in the league.
I mean, Dirk was only a great scorer too. Dirk just happened to get over the hump, and like it was generational the way he got over the hump.
Yeah, Dirk was
I'll
a
give him
Dirk was a
that, but, like,
notorious playoff choker
yeah.
until 2011.
Until that
Yeah.
2011.
Yeah.
Yeah, until that 2011.
But yeah, Dirk really was a scorer too, and
He eventually got it done. That
Sure,
changed
yeah.
the whole narrative.
No, obviously
that
better than
rewrites
Melo,
the
yeah.
whole
Oh,
narrative.
100%,
That's the
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I've just always thought because of and I guess it's only
I
because I
thought
live
the
in New
Knicks
York
with
too.
Melo just like two things could be true. Like, sure, he wasn't good enough, but also like we have to acknowledge the fact that the Knicks roster building never gave him a
Oh,
fair
so
chance.
bad after that original roster, but regardless, like
Even that original roster, like, I mean, you guys might have thought, I probably thought at the time too, because I was rooting for them, but a team led by Carmelo Anthony and a bunch of fucking 38-year-olds was never gonna, even if they beat Indiana, they weren't beating the fucking Heatles.
No, they
bro.
weren't
Like,
beating
come on.
Well, the Knicks initially, when they
They should've
traded
beaten
for
him.
Melo,
Yeah.
they didn't need to trade for Melo.
Yeah, he wasn't
He was
gonna
going to come to the Knicks, and they didn't have to give up all their assets.
Yeah.
But they jumped the gun and did it at
Had
the
a squad,
deadline.
bro.
Yeah.
They gave up who? Like,
Gallo,
Yeah, why
Gallo
did they do
was
that?
on
Joe Gallo. They gave up Joe
they
Gallo.
didn't even make
bro.
the playoffs that season, did
Yeah,
they?
no.
They just missed it.
They gave up Gallo.
They were in the
Felton,
playoff
Wilson
picture, and
Chandler.
then
Fell out.
got Melo and fell off.
Gallo,
they-
Felton, and Wilson Chandler.
And they got back Chauncey Billups, bruh.
Yeah.
Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, it's a it's a rough one, bro.
It was rough.
We gave up role players that like would have produced for us.
Things would have been way different for the Knicks if they waited for the offseason to do that.
Sign Melo, yeah.
I agree. I think revisionist history, you could probably say that.
I think even at the time, I remember people
We knew
saying
Melo was going to.
everyone at the time said that.
yeah.
Like everyone at the time was
not
pissed.
need to trade for him.
Yeah.
It was basically
Yeah.
like the unsaid thing that was going to happen.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't know. I guess it's just because I also live in New York, so we live in New York.
Right.
All I hear about is like Carmelo Anthony being like this god
Right.
amongst the New York media and stuff, and it's just like, bro, I don't see that.
Well, that has less
What
to
did
do
he
with
accomplish?
That has less to do with Carmelo Anthony than it does how bad the Knicks franchise has been.
Fucking Jalen
Right.
Brunson like a god.
Because he is.
What has he accomplished? What are we talking about?
Bro, he turned the same poverty franchise that Melo was with, he turned that into a legitimate contender for a couple years.
But you could argue, like,
Bro.
back in Melo's era, it was Stat that took the first leap. And, like, with this Knicks team, it was Julius Randle who took the first
this-
step.
And we still
Regime
look
is
at Randle as that
better.
fucking guy for us too. We love
Randle
him.
was a great Knick.
But
But
Randle
Brunson
never.
isn't the one fucking making the roster moves, gang. The roster building is significant. Look at who's running the show. Like, the roster building. The Knicks are just a better organization. That's not because of Jalen. And what has Jalen Brunson accomplished? The
Okay,
same
ready?
shit
If you're gonna
Melo
do that,
has.
if you're gonna do
Go to the
that, what
second
did
round.
Brunson do in the playoffs?
Go to the second round.
But what was he averaging in that second round series?
He went to
He
the
wasn't
second
choking.
round.
He wasn't choking,
He went to the second round, bro.
but he wasn't
Come on.
choking.
No.
They lost to the Pacers, too.
Bro, it
Both
was
of them.
Brunson by himself. Stop that. The entire team was hurt.
Yeah.
Carmelo and Brunson both lost to
Yeah.
the Pacers.
We're
Yeah,
not
the
gonna
entire
get up
fucking
here
team
and
was
act
hurt.
like Melo wasn't a god, but then say this guy's a god.
Bro,
Get
there's
outta
a
here,
difference.
bro.
There's a difference.
There's no difference.
There's a big
There's
difference,
no
actually.
difference.
There is no difference. I think
There's no
Brunson's
difference.
Brunson's a scorer, same kind of thing. I think they're honestly on the same tier of player. Like, it's like,
Brunson is looked at as a god because no matter what, he was stepping up in the biggest moments for us.
but it hasn't.
Melo would do that in the regular
but
season. Was not doing that shit in the playoffs.
But
I
just
don't give
like
a
the
fuck.
point you made before, where like that doesn't matter. You need results in the NBA. There hasn't been no results, and the Knicks actually just got worse.
Right, I think with Brunson, it's definitely like there's some projecting too, because like it's still, we still have Brunson in his what we hope is still his prime for the next few years. Like Melo
Right.
already happened, so we can look back on that.
right.
Like
My mind will be changed once the Knicks make the Eastern Conference Finals. But until that happens, he's not better than Carmelo Anthony.
Nah, you could say he's better than Melo.
He is
I don't
better
mind
than
that.
Melo.
I mean,
I mean,
I don't mind that. yeah.
is he?
Yeah.
For the Knicks,
I don't know, man.
it is tough because Chris is right. Like it's a totally different regime. Had Melo actually had a competent organization around him, we don't know what would have happened. But like just because of that, like we don't know.
I'm not
Like,
going to be so
you know?
quick to say Jalen Brunson's a better basketball
it's
player
just
than Carmelo
hilarious
Anthony
because
was.
we're getting up here and we're like severely pointing out Melo's flaws, and that's the sake of the argument. He's overrated, but like we're not. What we're not going to do is like disregard the fact that the Knicks are a good team. They have Jalen Brunson. Cool. One of the biggest questions with the Knicks going into the playoffs is Jalen Brunson's defense and how he will get picked on.
That's
So,
not the question for the Knicks this year.
That's a big question
Big
for the
talking
Knicks
point
this
for
year.
sure. Yeah,
That is not the question for the
that's a-
Knicks this year.
Big
That's not what he said.
question with the Knicks. That's
you said a big.
And
you
Brunson
said
has
big question.
always defended bigger than his size. He wasn't getting picked on as bad at near.
We
he
didn't
was
even
not
get
getting
to see
picked on
how
like
he
that.
would get picked on by the Celtics because they lost to the fucking Pacers.
Bro, they lost to the Pacers because Brunson was going 1-on-5. Who did he have for that series? OG was hurt. Julius was hurt. What the fuck are we? What are we doing? Like, what are we supposed to do with that?
Melo went against the Heat without Jeremy Lin, who had basically an insane year, and Amari Stoudemire punched a fire
He
extinguisher.
wasn't fucking beating them because he couldn't beat the Pacers the next year with a healthy team.
But that year, he lost to the Heat, and his team was
Well, we did just
unhealthy.
establish they were never going to beat the Heat.
For sure, but
Yeah.
but for the sake of the argument,
I guess. Yeah.
if Jalen Brunson gets a way out because of the injury.
I just don't think it's so
like
clear
it's not
cut
that different.
that
it's not
Jalen
that different.
Brunson's
Yeah,
like a
I-
better.
it is different because we went to 7.
Y'all lost, bro. Jalen Brunson's not that guy.
against Tyrese
I
Halliburton.
don't know if that's
bruh.
the takeaway against the Pacers series that Brunson's not that guy.
No, not against the. But if the takeaway is Melo's not that guy who could be a number one, I'm like, Brunson's not a guy. Who
see,
could
like,
be a
I,
number
yeah,
one
like,
either.
I think Melo
Like,
could have been a number
He's
one.
not
but-
this god, bro. He's not. He's a good basketball player.
He's not.
Also
I don't think he's a
level player.
tier above Carmelo Anthony.
I don't think he's a tier above. I just think he's been better for the New York Knicks than Carmelo Anthony has.
I don't agree with that. I just don't.
I just don't see how you don't.
Carmelo Anthony was a perennial all-star. We were going to the playoffs. We were a good team for a little while. And same thing with the Knicks now. We've been a good team for a couple years now. Right. Like, we still haven't done anything either way. 10 years ago now, doesn't matter. We haven't done anything. We haven't made the conference finals
It's
either
actually
way.
so similar what it's been on.
Like to this point, yes, but like we just signed Jalen Brunson to a 4 or 5 year extension, whatever it was. So like we still have plenty of more time.
And bro took
yeah, the Knicks
and bro took
Melo.
a fucking pay cut,
And we
it
regressed.
matters to me.
Melo and then brought in Phil Jackson, and the shit went to shit. Like,
And we regressed.
like just because y'all
100%.
re-signed Brunson doesn't mean that y'all are gonna get over the hump. Like, sure, like you guys are fans, be optimistic, but like,
Bro, if you make
That's
a
what I'm saying. I'm saying the jury's still out.
if you make a fucking conference finals in the
right,
Jalen
but in the-
Brunson
in-
era, he's already
but if we're
fucking done
arguing
better.
Carmelo Anthony and
Okay,
Jalen
but he
Brunson,
hasn't.
we got to throw
There's not-
projection.
he's been
out
good in the
we gotta
playoffs,
throw
though.
projection
Yeah, no,
out
But he
the
hasn't
window.
made the
What have
conference
you- what have
finals
you done
like you're
so far?
saying. If he does, if he does make it, sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
he's
as of
done
right
more
now,
than
they're
Carmelo
both-
Anthony,
they're both
sure.
second round
Melo
exits, but-
was a big reason as to why we didn't make the fucking conference finals.
Okay.
Brunson
still
was not
haven't
at all
made
the
it.
reason. Not at all.
Okay.
Played his fucking ass off.
I have to see more out of him, bro. He needs to do something. They need a win. Bro, I'm not going to sit here and
Right, if
and
we
be
get
like,
another 2-3 years of second round exits, like
right. What
Nah,
the hell?
that's
That
not-
doesn't
I'm
do
not happy
anything
with
for
that,
me.
yeah.
That just sets us back, and we're
God
going to have to go
forbid
through
y'all
another
lose in the
rebuild.
first round this year, man.
yeah, even that, yeah.
I could so see it happening, too, to a bad team.
The
It's going to be
Pistons.
so sad.
The
Yeah.
We
It's
could
3-6
definitely lose to the
matchup
Pistons
versus
in the
the
first
going to be so sad.
Wouldn't be surprised, bro. This team is.
And
mid
what do
as
you do
fuck.
then, Matt? What do you do then when the Knicks get bounced by the Pistons?
It's a good question.
It's not going to be. It's not going to be Brunson's
We
fault.
traded fucking 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges.
So you're going to just shift the blame off Brunson again?
No,
Okay.
because I mean, if you're a superstar, you're supposed to elevate your team.
It's so similar to Melo. Because
As of now,
the front
yeah.
office fucked up again here, too.
Yeah.
Because they're stuck now.
They are
'cause
actually very
traded
similar
for
situations.
Mikal
yeah,
Bridges.
Yeah. 5
So
firsts
now
for
your
Mikal
ceiling
Bridges
is
tough.
whatever Jalen Brunson as your best player could get you. And that'll never be to
I don't
the
even think
finals.
that's the problem. I just don't think Mikal Bridges
It
was
is,
the
though,
guy that
'cause
you
Giannis
go all
was
in.
going to be available, man. Y'all fumbled.
Well,
Knicks suck.
you could have got a second. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns is great, but I don't think he's the perfect complement to Jalen Brunson personally.
Nick-
Mikal wasn't the guy. They were trying to do the Nova Nick thing, but it just wasn't.
Yeah,
You didn't have to.
did
I
mean,
the Nova Nick thing. And then he fucking traded one of
The
them.
discourse
Well,
around
you-
the organization was that we need this guy.
I wouldn't
you know,
go back
like-
and undo that trade. I would still give
Bridges?
Dante DiVincenzo. No.
Oh, I was
Oh,
like,
I would
yeah,
undo the
100%
Bridges trade in a
do Bridges
heartbeat.
trade,
No. I'm saying like
Oh, DiVincenzo.
you did the Nova
absolutely
Nick
not.
thing.
No.
Yeah, I'm saying I wouldn't undo
No, absolutely not.
DiVincenzo. He hasn't been good with the
Cat's been a
Timberwolves this
top
year.
10 player in the
fair.
NBA. Yeah.
Yeah.
No way I'd undo
Yeah,
that
no.
trade.
I agree. I think Cat was a great get and all that, but I think if you re-sign, if we re-signed Isaiah, that never would have happened. That is
Probably
the
not,
domino
probably not.
effect.
There was
bro.
just no
that was
chance.
everything.
Isaiah
Yeah,
was
Isaiah
just.
just
I
wasn't
agree.
coming
I
back,
agree. I
yeah.
agree.
He was too good for what we were able to give him.
Right.
Man, I just.
What could have been, I know.
Yeah. What could have been if we just. I would have felt different about the Mikal trade if we still had Randall and
I mean, Bridges still wouldn't
Dante
have been
and
worth
Isaiah.
5 first
No.
round picks.
But
If you just added Mikal to
if you
that.
just added Mikal to that current roster from last year, that was when healthy. I mean,
I honestly don't
we were
think.
fucking 11-2 or like 13-2 with OG.
I don't
That-
think the ceiling's any higher than with that roster. Than
I
this
definitely do.
January
You
2024.
think they
Knicks,
beat the
dude.
Cavs or Celtics with that
Yes,
roster? With
100%
Julius
I
Randle?
do. Yes, 100% I do.
I don't know about that.
100,000%.
The Knicks were
bro. We
one of the
fucking-
best teams all time in January
Our
2024.
biggest
I mean,
problem
it's a
right now
month.
is our fucking rim protection, dude. Our
It was-
defense
yeah, 100%.
sucks.
The greatest month of all time.
Isaiah and that fucking Mikal
It
and
was.
OG, like, come on, bro.
Bro, it's Julius Randle.
That's fine.
He was
No,
hooping.
it's not. It's really not.
He was
fun.
hooping,
not in the
though.
playoffs.
Yeah.
Nah, he was
Not in the
hooping.
playoffs, bro.
Randall's
Julius
your
Randle's
number
one of
two
the
at
worst
that point.
playoff performers ever.
No, we'd be fine.
Now where's Carmelo Anthony?
No, not with Julius
Not worse than
Randle, bro. No, he's actually so much worse than Melo. Like
Nah.
he was so much worse than Melo.
I
That's where you lose me.
think that team with Mikal, you get Mikal,
Yes.
you have Brunson, OG, Mikal, Randall, and Isaiah.
Yeah.
And then off the bench,
That's it. That's not beating
you
Boston.
fucking laugh, bro.
Yo, they're not. Yo, Boston sweeping them, bro.
They're not beating Boston.
Yo, bleed green, bro.
I just disagree.
Shout out
with that.
O'Sleazy.
Then you got
think that team can
then
be
you got Dante,
Bro.
Josh, Robinson, Mitchell
nah,
Robinson,
Mikal
fucking
Bridges
Deuce
is
off the
bad.
bench.
Fucking
Our
It is
problems
Julius
right now are
Randle.
literally fucking depth and a big man that can protect the
Right.
paint.
Just rattled off 8 straight, down 20. Someone tweeted, he was like, "This is why you trade for Mikal, so he can go on runs like this in the fourth quarter." They were
Mikal?
down 20.
Like 2 minutes left, bro.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yes, that's our problems now. But what were our problems before we did this? Julius Randle was fucking horrible in the playoffs.
But Julius Randle,
Sweet
when we
melon.
acquired OG, everything made sense.
Yes.
That was like the perfect team. And then he went down and we didn't really
Right.
get to see the
No,
full
yeah.
potential.
That's the
fine.
problem. Randall started playing his best ball of honestly his career once the OG
Sure.
trade happened. So
He didn't have to defend like he did
like his
before
life
the
depended
OG,
on
right.
it. He didn't have to. He
Sweet
wasn't.
melon. Carmelo Anthony. It's his nickname.
We would have made the fucking conference finals last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last
We're
year,
beating the
100%,
shit out of the
absolutely.
fucking Pacers if we have Randall and the boys.
And then what happens with Boston? They smoke us. They smoke us.
I don't
They
know.
smoke us.
Bro, we were
Bro, we're getting at least a fucking couple of games on them.
That's sick. That's awesome.
I mean, we were trotting out Alec Burks, bro. Our
No,
six-man
I
Alec
completely
Burks.
agree. Like if
Yeah,
we
what
had,
are we-
didn't even need Randall or OG, just one or the other. We beat Indiana, go to the conference finals. Hooray! We get our fucking asses reamed out by Boston.
You have your full team. I just don't agree with that. I just don't agree with that.
Oh, they won the
Who's the next
championship.
underrated, overrated player?
I had a list of 5. We're gonna have to narrow it down, but that's fine. The next player is Kobe Bryant.
Oh my god.
Fuck that.
About to get-
We
Fuck
can't do
that.
this, bro.
Yeah, I know.
He's not, bro.
I can't even argue. I don't want to argue against him. Like I'm not doing that because he's not.
Kobe's not overrated.
He's not
bro.
overrated. He's just not.
Who the fuck said that?
Somebody actually did say.
Who
Like,
the
I know.
fuck-
I said.
no, I know.
I don't
What's
know.
their
I don't know.
handle?
I don't know how to pull it up. I don't know.
Bro.
If I can look now.
Was it mom?
No, it wasn't my mom. My mom said Ben Simmons.
That's a
Talk about
fact.
that one.
That's a fact.
So I have Embiid, but I think you're kind of the same. Like you're both gonna
Fuck.
pretty much be there. All right. So Chris Paul or James Harden? Who's more interesting? Or do you want to do both? You want to do one, see how long it takes, and then maybe do the other?
I don't know. I think neither one are overrated all time.
Okay.
So
I mean,
Yeah,
you could
you
say
do.
you could say Chris
I
Paul's
feel like you
overrated.
think James Harden's overrated.
I don't think James Harden.
Bro, you said you're taking Jimmy Butler over him all time. And that was a hot take.
That was
Did
crazy.
say
That was a hot take.
And
So
like
that
since
means-
then, what has
like,
really changed?
The
You know, like
consensus says that James Harden is ranked higher all time. So you thinking that Jimmy Butler is ranked higher than him all time makes you.
I don't think that's
makes you
that
think-
crazy. I mean, Jimmy
Oh
Butler
my God!
took
Stop.
Bro,
took
this
two
is
teams. Jimmy Butler led 2 teams to the
Dog.
NBA Finals.
You're in the TikTok, bro. You're in the TikTok. Game.
Saying what was I?
Arguing for
what was
James
it?
Harden, bro.
Wow, we're like swapping positions here, bro.
No,
You're
that's
in the
crazy to say.
TikTok,
No,
bro.
but James Harden ain't never led no team to an NBA Finals.
Don't matter.
He
he's
almost
MVP.
did.
Jimmy
Bro.
Butler never won an MVP.
But he didn't.
Never came close.
How many
Okay.
rings do they both have?
I hate.
Yeah,
hate
how many
that.
finals appearances does James Harden have? How many
Finals
good?
appearances
How many
don't
good?
go
How
in.
many
He has
good?
one. He has
half
one.
as many
But he was the
as-
sixth man.
Yeah,
Finals
yeah.
appearances don't go on your freaking
Team's young.
basketball reference resume.
Oh,
I don't see final appearances here nowhere,
Bro,
bro.
stop doing that though.
That
Stop
shit don't
doing that.
matter.
Stop
Who's you
doing
about?
that though, because it does matter.
Mello.
I saw 15. I'm like, wait a minute. Who the fuck?
But all right, if I go to James Harden, it's not
That's
going to
probably
say
not gonna
finals
show it.
Jimmy
Jimmy
Butler is
Butler is
greater
just
than
funny.
Carmelo Anthony all time.
Jimmy Butler
Yes,
is greater than Carmelo
in
Anthony
my
all
opinion.
time?
Yes.
Jimmy Butler's so hard to rank because like he's not that amazing in the regular season, but
Don't
he
give a fuck
He turns
about
it
the
on for
regular
like a
season.
couple posts.
So, like, how many dudes are you taking Jamal Murray over all time then?
Jamal Murray has never
know.
reached the
Is
heights
Jimmy
of Jimmy
Butler a
Butler,
top
bro. Stop.
50 player of all time?
What?
Is Jimmy Butler a top 50 player of all time?
I don't. You'd have to give me a list.
Yeah,
Is he
I
a
mean,
top,
I'd have
is he
to
a
look.
top 70?
He's a top 75 player of all time.
Is he? Is he actually a top 75? Was he on the list?
No,
No, he
definitely
wasn't.
wasn't on the list.
He's a top 75 player of all time.
When did they do that list?
2 years ago.
Bro, Damian Lillard
Fuck has changed.
fucking made that list, bro. Jimmy Butler's over Damian Lillard.
Yeah, but he's not over
Yeah,
like
he is.
Dwight Howard.
Yeah, I agree. No, Dwight Howard was.
Dwight Howard didn't make the list, right?
He did.
Oh, he did?
Jimbo slice.
no,
No,
he got-
Dwight didn't
he
make
got
the
No,
list.
snubbed.
Dwight didn't make it.
He got
Anthony
snubbed.
Davis didn't make
Kyrie
it
got
either.
snubbed.
Wow.
Anthony Davis didn't make it.
No, I think AD did make it.
He did?
I don't think AD made it.
think he did.
AD made it. I'll look it up, but AD made it.
Kyrie didn't make it.
No,
Yeah.
Kyrie didn't make it.
Clay didn't make it.
That's crazy.
Dre?
Is Jimmy over all those guys?
Dre didn't make it either, I don't think.
How did Dame make that list?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy.
I'm sorry. I love Dame, but like he's not
Draymond didn't make it.
better than those guys all time.
The Dancing Bear.
Jimmy is greater all time than Carmelo Anthony, in my opinion.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess like based off
Based
what,
off
finals
what?
appearances.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
2
'Cause
playoff
it's
runs.
just
He's a playoff
that.
riser.
That's the only thing that you
Okay.
could say. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's
He
all I
played-
need to say.
He's played like 12 other years. Other than that, we're
Yeah, and he's
just not
been
gonna look
great
at
in the regular season. He's been great in the regular season. He hasn't been an MVP caliber player in the
No.
regular season, but he turns up when it matters.
So all, those 2 seasons matter than the whole rest
those
of the
2
body.
playoff runs.
Yeah, he made the fucking finals by himself,
Yeah, but he lost.
bro. The motherfucker had a 40-point.
Yeah, but
triple
Carmelo
double.
was
He was.
Carmelo was giving buckets for 15 years straight, bro.
Yeah, and fucking shot 40% in the playoffs and sucked
So,
ass.
so all you do,
when it mattered
only
the
thing that
most.
matters is when you.
How many
when
how
you-
many
what
time
matters the
All-Stars
most,
Carmelo
bro?
Always
Anthony?
better footwork.
Shut the fuck up. Who's a better defender and
better
playmaker?
footwork?
Who's a better defender and
Who's
playmaker?
better for work in the post?
Jimmy
bro?
Butler is basically Carmelo, just better
Oh my god.
at everything.
What?
Better at everything.
Better at nothing.
Better at, excuse me?
Defending, sure.
And passer. He's a good playmaker. He's an elite defender. He's a good scorer.
There's nothing offensively that he's better at. I guess passing, sure. Nothing else.
He's a better three-point shooter than Melo.
Is he? Is that
No,
true?
Probably not.
Not true.
no, of course not.
That was an overrated ass three-point shooter, though.
Melo did not shoot under 40% for the playoffs. He shot 41%. So get fucked.
Yo, it's such a bucket getter, bro. Such an elite bucket getter.
He is an elite bucket getter.
I mean, your precious Jimmy shot 46% in the playoffs for his
It's a
career.
big fucking difference.
It's a difference.
A big fucking difference.
Yeah, all right. I mean,
He
I don't
got-
know.
he
Jimmy
made one
Butler
more
has
shot out
had
of 20.
playoff series where
Jimmy
he.
Butler's the most
made one more
overrated
shot out
player
of
in
20
NBA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jimmy
that's
Butler
true.
might be the most overrated player in NBA. I'm actually down with that. Like,
Yo, Jimmy Butler is the most overrated player. Let's
I like
go.
that one.
That's good.
Y'all are just stupid.
he had 2 great playoff runs. He's had playoff runs.
Two great playoff runs.
Yes.
Yeah.
and he's
he
had,
also
but he's
beat
had
a
other.
fucking 1 seed.
Sure, yeah, of course, 100%. But he's also had other series where he got locked the fuck down. The year after they made the finals, they made the Bucks, and he played like shit.
Bro,
They
Melo
beat the
never
Bucks,
had
they
a
met the
second
Bucks, and
best
he played
player
like
like
shit.
Caleb Martin,
So did
bro.
bro. Melo had more series
Or
like that
Bam.
than fucking Jimmy.
I guess.
Caleb
Yeah, but
Martin.
like,
Bam's better than any second player that Melo ever had.
Amari Stoudemire literally exists.
Bam,
Amari
prime Bam
Stoudemire
was better than
literally
washed
forgot how to
Amari.
do basketball when Melo got there.
It
We
wasn't
all
Suns
know
Amari.
that. We all know that.
It was washed Amari Stoudemire.
Yeah, Amari was great for half a season, but once Melo got there, it was Melo's team now.
Yeah.
Because Melo's the alpha dog.
Yeah, he's a mad good alpha that makes it out of the second round.
Jalen
wait.
Brunson too.
Oh wait. Oh wait.
Jalen Brunson's a mad good alpha that makes it out of the
Wait.
second round too. Oh wait.
I mean, I put them on the same playing field. I'm saying Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's made 2 fucking finals. Beat a 1 seed. Could have done it again if it wasn't for an injury. Remember that Bulls team, Chris? I know you remember that Bulls team.
Which one?
That dog shit Rondo, Butler, Wade
Bro, they were the
trio.
8 seed.
Yeah. And they almost
They-
beat the 1 seed.
Almost beat the 1 seed. That's what you're.
that's going on your resume.
That's-
No, I
Hell
don't know.
yeah.
The 8 seed almost beat the 1.
We didn't almost beat them because of Jimmy. We almost beat them because of Rondo.
Rondo, yeah, I know. Rondo was
Rondo.
hooping back then.
Who you
Way
taking
back
all
then.
time, Rondo or Jimmy Butler?
Shut the fuck up.
Rondo's been to 2 finals.
Rondo's been to 2 finals. Rondo's
Was
playoff-
Rondo the best player on those
Rondo's been
finals?
to
Rondo
3 finals
low-key
and won
was,
2.
yeah.
Loki was the best player on
Low-key
one of those
was
teams.
Rondo's been to
players,
3
yeah.
finals and won 2. He won one with the Lakers in the
Stop
bubble.
with the Lakers.
He
one.
was playing.
Bro, he was
He
cooking.
was a starting point
He
guard,
wasn't
right?
just playing. He was cooking.
He was.
Big bubble.
Bro, playoff Rondo was a real
playoff-
fucking
yeah, I'm
thing.
talking about playoff
Rondo
risers.
over Jimmy Butler all time. Bro.
Bubble Rondo.
Shut
bro.
the fuck up.
Taking Rondo over Jimmy, bro.
Shut the fuck up.
Nah, that's not a hot take.
Rondo
bro.
was a top 15 rated player
Bro,
in
you
NBA
want to talk about a
2K10.
playoff riser, bro?
Can you guys name top?
What are we doing?
Rondo on like Mother's Day, bro. Like prime first round of the playoffs because that Mother's Day's in May.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
So it was on some like Mother's Day every
Oh,
year.
okay.
It's not
Rondo
the
out
first
there in
round,
the
though.
playoffs versus the Cavs, bro, dropping like 40, 20, 20 games, bro.
I feel like it's not true.
I don't recall
I
a
feel like
40
you're
20
exaggerating.
20 game
Exaggerating.
by Razan Rondo in the
I feel like
playoffs.
you might be exaggerating a little bit. Just a little bit.
The greatest stat line
His
of
career
all
high is
time.
probably like
He had
36.
15 steals too.
Bro's got Wilt. Bro's
yeah.
got same guys that were doing Wilt's 100-point game. We're doing Rondo's playoff games. All right. Yeah. I think we've, done this segment now. We've done it justice.
I guess, yeah.
Big justice.
Boom.
Boom, 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 boom. Wow.
So, what's your opinions on pepperoni on pizza?
I don't like it.
Pepperoni?
Pepperoni on pizza.
What's wrong with pepperoni
What the
on
fuck is wrong with pepperoni on pizza?
You like
I'm
pepperoni?
just asking your opinion.
I don't like it.
It's like the most
No?
common pizza
Yeah, I
topping.
mean,
I've never had it.
I just don't like it.
never
I don't know.
you like pepperoni?
What's the weirdest thing you could put on pizza?
I'm very like, I don't know, like pineapple? No, absolutely not. Not having a pineapple.
Pineapple on pizza's
Absolutely not.
mad good.
You
No.
eat pepperoni, you eat pineapple? That's fucking weird.
It's not
Weird.
that I won't eat pepperoni.
All right.
Like it's not like ketchup where I'm skeeved
Yeah,
by
right,
it.
right.
I just like if there's a pepperoni pizza in front of me and I'm starving, like I'm gonna eat it.
I'm not going out
Ketchup
of my
I
way to
won't
eat a pepperoni
I don't-
slice, but like,
I had
I'd much
I had
rather
pepperoni pizza last
prefer.
night.
I'd much rather prefer a plain pizza than a pepperoni. Pizza.
I got half and half.
I like sausage on pizza.
I like
Yeah, I gotta be in the
Sausage
mood
on
for
sausage
pep.
is good.
fire.
I've never
Yeah?
had sausage.
Usually I get a regular, I will say.
Yeah, you have.
Pepperoni's
That's what
cool.
my- that's what
I,
my
I
thing
like
looks like.
sausage on pizza. That's good stuff.
What?
That's what my thing.
Some
looks
people
like.
put anchovies on pizza. I don't even know what an anchovy is, I'll be honest. It's just
What?
fucking disgusting.
You don't know what an anchovy is?
You don't know what an anchovy
Fucking
is?
gross.
I get
like
I love
the little
fri-
fishies?
bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Fried
Fucking
anchovies,
gross.
fire.
I get from Dominico's.
Man, good.
Has to be from Dominico's. Shout out Dominico's. Spinach
What do you
and
think-
artichoke pie, and it's like a creamy
Fried
white
anchovy?
sauce on it.
Fried anchovies.
It's mad good.
Yes.
Fried anchovies. I've never had one. Actually, no, I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Fry your anchovies
Wow,
and suck on them.
bro. Shout out
What?
McLovin, bro. I love McLovin.
Shout
Shout out
out
McLovin.
All right.
Bro's never
Uh,
eaten anything.
Yeah.
Bro's had fingers and fries, and that's it.
Fingers. Don't specify the kind of fingers.
Yeah.
Just some sort of fingers. You figure
Dean
it out.
likes fingers
Tommy's fingers.
Hell yeah.
inside of you.
Yeah.
What?
All right, let's,
Wrap it up.
Yo, they were talking about Oreos. Chubb Perm said, I'm not a big fan of Oreos. wait, hold up. And then McLovin asked, like, do you like the double stuff? And then No Name said, I like the mega stuff. It's so much cream.
Bro
No
like
Name said that you can never get enough cream, bro.
Favorite cookie of all time.
Shout out No Name, the
Favorite
Costco
cookie?
cookies, bro.
Costco chocolate chip. Yeah.
Double chocolate.
I like a good.
I like the sugar cookies from the supermarket,
Yeah.
too, with the frosting.
Those are alright. Yeah, those are cool.
Those are cool. Those are cool.
I like the
Entenmann's.
Entenmann's mini ones. Oh,
The
yeah.
Milano cookies are fire.
Milano
Love
cookies are-
Milanos.
the
Yes.
peanut butter Girl Scout cookies, the sandwich ones. Peanut butter
Oh,
sandwich ones. Those, are fire.
oh,
Those are the best ones.
oh.
Those are good. Those are good.
I love peanut butter.
I love peanut butter.
Honestly, no. But like homemade chocolate chip cookies is
Yo, Felice's
Yo,
cookies from the other day, bro.
Bakery,
Bro. My dad can fucking bake. My dad can fucking bake. That was kind of crazy. I'm gonna ignore that happened.
Don't put that in a TikTok, please. Please. Don't put that in.
I'm gonna ignore that happened. But yeah, he can bake, bro. The
Yo.
peanut butter ones.
That was my genuine reaction, by the way. Like, I blacked out and did that. That was crazy. Please, please.
I'm gonna
bake for
clip
me.
that and show it to him.
No. Okay, yeah, you could do that. That's fine.
I'm gonna clip that and show it to him.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's ball games off the
This
rails.
is an NBA podcast for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's how much we love the NBA that we start talking about Felice's cookies and whatever that was. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all of our socials. Stay in tune with all of our posts on Instagram because you guys are gonna be doing this for a second. What is going on? Keep in touch with the.
And that was ball game.
Ball game.
I guess.